if you already did, it's easy. If you never did, it gets very complicated. That's why we sent this a few days before, but still it was complicated. So what we decided to do is, so the tutorial of now, Carolina will show you how to run, and you can run the R portions, but don't try unless you are very sure of yourself on that computer. I mean, if you already could run it easily, do it, but if not, just let it be and try it at home or at your favorite server if you have one. Still, I think it's a very good exercise to run these things in your computer, because first, because you learn to handle your computer, and second, because you can try things that if you work in a server and you have a system of queues and of rights of admission and everything is more complicated. So I think it's good to comment some of the problems that we see linked to the use of BLUPF90. So the first problem is that Mac and Linux users usually don't have problems or have less problems because there is a natural way to enter in the command line, and the command line is Unix-like command line, so it's easier to understand. In Windows, it's more complicated. First, because there is the command line, and I put the PowerPoint, but it's not the PowerPoint, it's the PowerShell. And I don't have any clue how this PowerShell works, but when I've seen a few things, and it does things that you don't want him to do. And the other thing is actually very complicated, is to find in the path, to do CD until you go to the server. So to have the command line in the place where you want it to be and to start analyzing stuff. The INRA computers have this thing where there is a kind of a link with a disk that is somewhere in some server in Toulouse, so you don't know how to go to that place. And I don't know actually, how did you do, Maya?
I copied the files locally on my laptop.
Yeah, but how do you know that it's really locally on your laptop and not?
Because this one I found, this folder I found.
Okay, so you find one place where you copy to your laptop and you can go there, but yeah, it's not. I mean, in INRA computers, it's not always easy. And some people have other restrictions, like you cannot put things on your computer and other stuff. Or you need to run, Karina, you said with administrator rights sometimes?
Yes,
sometimes. And it depends. It depends on the computer, on the operative system, and how computers are set up. So if you have an administrator that it gives you rights, or that he doesn't give you rights and other stuff. There's two more things that appeared. There's often a segmentation fault, and segmentation fault in computer science means almost everything. But often, sometimes it comes because you put in the parameter file something that creates a problem. So you put, I don't know, too many levels of an effect, or not enough, or something, so it creates a problem. But often, the problem that we have is this OMP thing. No, I want to leave this place, and I want to show you where you can find this. If you go to the BLUPF90 family of I don't think you can see this very big. Can I make this bigger? How do I make this bigger? Control? Plus. Thank you. Troubleshooting. So there is the FAQ pages, and I guess this is the same FAQ pages. So you go here. So you see there is segmentation fault. And system, oh, that's the other one. So you go to segmentation fault. In Linux and Mac, there is something called the stack and the pile. And I never remember what they are, but it's how memory is handled. So the stack size is like a box where the computer puts things, and by default it's too small. So one way to do is to put this thing, ulimit -s unlimited. So that's something that can be done. The other one is so there is the regular stack size, and then there is a stack size for parallel threads. When some things in BLUPF90 are done in parallel. For instance, inversion of the genomic matrix, because it takes forever. So again, in Mac and in Linux, you need to do this thing, export OMP stack size, and you put some number, 64 megabytes. You don't really need a very big number. You need to put gigabytes or anything. What else? Well, here it explains that you can kind of make it automatic. You can do the same thing in Windows, but you need to do it in control. I don't know if it's again still called control panel in Windows, probably, or you can use it in the command prompt. But I don't know if this is in the regular command prompt, in the PowerShell, in both, or not. Exactly. So that's also kind of a solution. It's very rare that you have insufficient memory, or it will complain that you don't have memory. So usually the reason is not that your computer is big enough, it's one of these two things. Now, the other thing that I saw is that there is some missing library. So many years ago, we could compile what it was called static programs. So it was a program, you just downloaded the program, and it worked. And now, the compilers refuse to do that because they say, I'm not going to load the libraries for so many things because it will create like terabytes of space of a program. So I will just use the libraries that are in whatever computer I'm going. But sometimes you don't have these libraries. So the library that's usually missing is this thing, is Intel Math Kernel Library that is free from Intel, but you need to download, and the place to download may be this one. I don't know, if we go here, do we find it? Because they changed. So yeah, it looks like it is. I don't know. Could you get it? You were trying. Yeah, so these things they change, and so we put this information on this wiki page, but it depends. They change all the time, so you may need to do something. So one needs to go here, read it slowly, and understand how to install this thing. So it's not really easy to do. It can be done. I've done it, and other people did it, but it's not always easy. So there is for Linux user, for Windows user, the MKL, and all the stuff. So if you have these kind of messages, you take your time, you take a coffee, and you spend an afternoon. You may spend an afternoon trying to fix. Eventually, it's feasible. And I've done it, and people does it. So okay, is there anything else that I wanted to tell you concerning BLUPF90? I don't think so. Do you have any other question concerning this thing of BLUPF90 or experience that you would like to share or something?